The iPhone 15 line has been announced and Apple is releasing 4 new versions, including the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus, iPhone 15 Pro, and iPhone 15 Pro Max. And the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are getting all of the buzz today, which can be expected because of the new titanium enclosure and the new 5x zoom on the Pro Max. But if you're upgrading from an earlier iPhone, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus offer you the biggest upgrade for your money. There are a number of hardware and software changes this year, which make the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus the one to get. I feel like Apple put the biggest changes inside the regular iPhone 15 line, making it the bigger deal than the Pro. Essentially, the iPhone 15 is the Pro Lite or the iPhone Pro SE. It is bringing over a lot of what made the iPhone 14 Pro a Pro iPhone, like the display. This year, the display on the iPhone 15 gets the same Super Retina XDR display that was on the iPhone 14 Pro. This is an OLED display which gets up to 1000 nits of brightness for regular use, up to 1600 nits for HDR content, and up to 2000 nits for outside use in direct sunlight. This display is simply stunning. Watching HDR content is incredibly crisp and bright with incredible 2,000,000:1 contrast. Everything you watch just pops. And when outside, you can actually see and read your iPhone with the 2000 nits. Well, that is until it heats up and has to dim down, but for those couple of minutes, you can actually get something done when outside. The only part of the iPhone 14 Pro display not carried over to the regular iPhone 15 is the Pro Motion, which dynamically adjusts the display refresh rate from something like 10 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz. And I will say, I love the 120 Hz refresh on my iPhone, iPad, and MacBook Pros. I hate to go without it. But for most people, they just don't even know what it is or can't see it or don't care. But the display brightness, they absolutely can see. Also at the top of the display, there is the dynamic island that was introduced with the iPhone 14 Pro. Apple calls it a magical way to interact with your iPhone. I don't really know about that, but it has been pretty useful over the last year. It has been great for checking flight information when I traveled to Europe and waiting for an Uber or tracking a pizza delivery or just watching timers that I have set. And honestly, that's mostly what I use it for. I think the dynamic island is a neat feature and I like it, and I'm glad that Apple has brought this pro-level feature to the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. Next, Apple brought the pro-level 48 megapixel camera sensor to the baseline iPhone. I loved using the 48 megapixel sensor. Apple used the extra large sensor in the 14 Pro to capture a ton of light and detail, then pixel bin it down to 12 megapixel photos for a crisp and bright image. And of course, there were other things you could do with the 48 megapixel sensor on the Pros, like using ProRAW to get a full resolution photo. But with the iPhone 15, the 48 megapixel sensor does even more and creates 24 megapixel images, optimizing for detail and brightness. Plus there's the 2x zoom, which crops into the main sensor to give you a full optical quality photo. This is a major step up for the regular iPhone and its previous 12 megapixel photos. Then there's the Apple A16 processor, the previous Pro chip for the iPhone. The A16 processor from the 14 Pro is now in the regular iPhone 15 and it's awesome. No other mobile chips come close. The A16 is 12% faster than the A15 and 35% faster than the A14 in CPU multi-core performance. With graphics, the A16 is 36% faster than the A15 and nearly 60% faster than the A14. For reference, the A17 Pro in the 15 Pro models is only about 10% faster in CPU and 20% faster in GPU compared to the A16, which is a pretty small upgrade in performance compared to previous years. So we're still getting a Pro-level chip inside the iPhone 15. There won't be any apps or games that don't play well on the A16 compared to the A17 Pro, at least until ray tracing is built into some games, but we'll have to wait and see how that works out. So those are the 3 huge Pro-level features built into the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. These features were taken directly from the Pro models and shoved into the 15s. And I think that that is the biggest upgrade for the year and the best bang for your buck, starting at just $799. Now, all iPhones this year are getting 2nd generation ultra-wideband chips for 3 times distance in tracking, USB-C ports on the bottom replacing Lightning for the first time, a new design with slightly rounded edges for a hopefully more comfortable grip, roadside assistance with satellite, new camera software features like auto portrait mode and depth mapping to change focus later, and more. There are a couple things that the regular 15s are not getting that the 15 Pros are, like Wi-Fi 6E, USB 3.0, thread support, 3 or 5x zoom, titanium, and the action button. But the regular new iPhones now feel more pro than it ever has before. So what do you guys think about the new iPhone 15? Does it have all the features you want or need, or do you feel like you need the little bit extra that the Pro offers? Let me know in the comments down below. If you want to know my top 5 favorite features of iOS 17, like offline maps, check out this video right over here. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it, hit subscribe if you want, and I'll see you next time.